Greetings, philosophers. We're back for the second part of our 10-part series on the philosophy of Fyodor Dostoevsky, one of literature's greatest explorers of the soul. Today we're diving into a question that haunts his work and, let's be honest, haunts us all. The problem of evil and suffering. Why does a world that's supposed to make sense allow so much pain? Dostoevsky doesn't shy away from this, and he tackles it head-on in his masterpiece, The Brothers Karamazov. So settle in, and let's unpack this heavy but gripping topic together. Dostoevsky wasn't just telling stories, he was digging into the raw, jagged edges of existence. He lived through his own share of suffering, poverty, epilepsy, the loss of loved ones, even a mock execution and years in a Siberian prison camp. So when he writes about pain, it's not abstract, it's personal. And in The Brothers Karamazov, he gives us one of the most powerful confrontations with suffering of literature through a character named Ivan Karamazov. Ivan's not just asking why bad things happen, he's shaking his fist at the universe, demanding to know how a good world can let innocent people, especially children, suffer. Picture Ivan, this brilliant, brooding intellectual, sitting across from his younger brother Alyosha, a gentle, faith-filled monk. Ivan lays out his case like a lawyer in a cosmic courtroom. He tells stories of real, gut-wrenching suffering, people abused, tortured, killed. He's not making this up. Dostoevsky pulled these examples from newspapers of his time. Ivan's point is brutal. If the world is created by a loving God, how can this kind of evil exist? He says he'd rather return his ticket to such a universe than accept a system that allows this pain. It's not just an argument, it's a rebellion against the idea that everything happens for a reason. Now, this isn't just Ivan being dramatic. Dostoevsky's using him to voice a question we've all asked at some point. You see it on the news in your own life, or in the lives of people you love. Senseless suffering. A child gets sick. A disaster strikes. Someone you trust betrays you. And you wonder, why? What's the point? Dostoevsky doesn't give us a neat answer, but he makes us feel the weight of the question. He's saying, this is real. This is worth wrestling with. And through Ivan, he's daring us to face it without looking away. But Ivan doesn't stop with the problem of evil. He takes it further with one of the most famous passages in literature, the Grand Inquisitor. It's a story Ivan tells Alyosha, a kind of parable within the novel. Imagine Jesus returning to Earth during the Spanish Inquisition, only to be arrested by the church. The Grand Inquisitor, this old cynical figure, confronts Jesus and says, "You got it wrong. You gave people freedom, but they can't handle it. They don't want to choose their own path. They want bread, security, someone to tell them what to do." The Inquisitor argues that suffering comes from freedom because people misuse it or can't bear its weight. His solution: take away their freedom, give them comfort, control, certainty, make them happy slaves. This is where Dostoevsky's genius shines. He's not just talking about evil, he's asking what we're willing to sacrifice to avoid it. The Grand Inquisitor thinks suffering can be eliminated by controlling people, turning them into obedient cogs in a machine. It's a chilling idea, and it's not hard to see echoes of it today. Think about it. How often do we trade our freedom for convenience? We hand over our choices to algorithms, governments, or trends, hoping it'll make life easier, less painful. Dostoevsky's warning us that this comes at a cost. If you give up your freedom to avoid suffering, you might lose what makes you human. But here's the twist. Dostoevsky doesn't let Ivan's rebellion or the Inquisitor's cynicism have the last word. Through Alyosha, the quiet, loving brother, he offers a different perspective. Alyosha doesn't argue with Ivan's logic. He listens, he feels the pain, and he responds with compassion. There's a moment where Ivan finishes his tirade, and Alyosha just kisses him on the shoulder. It's simple, but it's profound. Dostoevsky's saying that the answer to suffering isn't a theory. It's love, action, connection. Alyosha doesn't solve the problem of evil, but he lives in a way that fights it, by caring for others, by being present. This ties to another character in the novel, Father Zosima, a monk who's like Alyosha's mentor. Zosima teaches that suffering isn't just a problem to solve. It's part of being human. He says we're all connected, all responsible for each other's sins and pain. It's a radical idea. Your suffering isn't just yours, and neither is your guilt. We're in this together. Zosima's not saying suffering is good. He's saying it can transform us, make us more compassionate, more aware of others. Dostoevsky, who suffered so much himself, seems to believe this. His own life in prison didn't break him. It deepened his empathy, his sense of humanity's shared struggle. We all face suffering. Maybe not as dramatic as Ivan's examples, but real nonetheless. A broken relationship, a lost job, a health scare, or just the quiet ache of feeling alone. Dostoevsky's asking us, how do you respond? Do you, like Ivan, demand answers and reject the world when they don't come? Do you, like the Grand Inquisitor, try to control everything to avoid pain? Or do you, like Alyosha, keep showing up, keep loving, even when it hurts? There's no perfect fix for suffering, but Dostoevsky suggests that the way we carry it matters. This idea feels so alive today. We're bombarded with images of pain, wars, crises, and personal struggles. It's easy to feel like Ivan, overwhelmed, ready to give up, or like the Inquisitor, craving someone to just fix it all. But Dostoevsky challenges us to be like Alyosha, not with grand gestures, but with small, stubborn acts of kindness. It's not about erasing suffering. It's about refusing to let it define us. As we close, I want you to think about a time you faced suffering, yours or someone else's. Did it make you harder, or did it open your heart? Dostoevsky would say that's the real question. Not why suffering exists, but what you do with it. Next time, we'll explore another piece of his philosophy, the clash between faith and nihilism. It's a battle that's still raging, so you won't want to miss it. Thanks for tuning in today. Let's keep grappling with the big questions together. Until next time, keep thinking, keep feeling, and keep showing up. See you soon.